Hey, brothers and sisters, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. And this is going to be another video. And brothers, I want to put you on alert. Because the hypocrisy is thick. And we got these women are showing themselves to not seriously be interested in mending any fences. Okay? What you have is you have separate movements going on by women that's actively engaging in the takedown and harassment of brothers that are speaking out on behalf of brothers, right? So there is another attack coming, and this time it is against the SYSBM, the men that are saying that they're going to save themselves. All right. They can't go after slaying evil, but Mad Bus Driver was named in this article. All right. So you don't know how you're going to take these women seriously when you got two diverging messages. One is to attack, but if you look at all the apologies, they're not real. All right, they're not real. What they want to do is put the responsibility of what's going on the very men that they didn't pick. We'll get into that in a minute. Again, to Brother Frankie, thank you. To Brother Rod, thank you. So let me greet everybody real quick. Havorten hardugu dag, ola oi to the bank, vasas los bonjour mes amis, ketu bawani konnichiwa, ni hao ni ama, sani bonani, jambo habaragani, assalamu alaikum and shalom. All right, this is the Reluctant Nabi. And so, before we get into this, let's get them thumbs up to like, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, click that notification bell. My Cash App and my PayPal me will be in the description box if you would like to help with the things that I'm doing in the community and what this channel does. All right. Remember, you still take care of yourself and family first. All right. So let's get into the breakdown. All right. So kind of excuse this. I didn't have Wi-Fi in my hotel. I'm gonna complain about that. But what we have here is Lonnie Lonnie Love, right? And this is going to be about as much as about her, Madeline Noir, and all these hypocrite PhDs, sellout, so-called black men and stuff. And a lot of stuff was sent to me, and I couldn't address it right away because of the nature of where I was, right? So I'm gonna put this up right here, right? Our greatest power over blacks is what we is that we control everything they believe. All right, we control their education, their news, media, their entertainment, all their statistics, even their image of themselves. This therefore allows us to inundate blacks with disinformation designed to instill the myth of Caucasian superiority and black self into their minds. It is psychological warfare program and used for the broadcasting of dominance. Now, all these people writing for these magazines, I keep telling y'all this. We should not follow or believe anything of any Afro person that is on a show in the sports media or that writes for a major magazine that is run by the Smurfs, BAWs, BFIMs, all right, or the system. Understand this, because if you want to destroy a community, you get rid of the strong man. But here's the problem. you're going to hear a complaint about strong men not being in the community by the very women that got rid of the strong men in the midst of self-incriminating evidence. All right, so let's roll on. All right, so pay attention to this. The problem that they're having with SYSBM is that SYSBM are getting passports. We're leaving. We're getting any. Let me give you the secret to SYSBM. We are looking for any women that want to follow the lead of the Afro man, period. That looks good. That is feminine. Here is the problem that the guy that wrote this article that's going to be in the description box. Here is the problem with his assertion. When you actually leave the United States, and even some places in the United States, the Afro man is most preferred by women that look like the one on the right than they are by the women that look like the ones on the left. All right. Now, I mentioned Lonely Love. I'm going to get into his article and show the hypocrisy and the ignorance of this guy and show that this is nothing but somebody that is following the quote that I just gave you. Okay? The misinformation. Understand this. Now, here is the argument.
This is Passion Twist Killer here, and this is a PSA. I am a mom first, and this is a PSA to all black men out there right now. Us, me, the one who represents your mom, your sister, your daughter, your niece, your cousin.
Right. She represents all other black women, but what they have in common is the black women do not represent us, the good Afro men. All right, understand what she said. She represents all of that, but she will not represent us. She will not be the wife to us. And remember, she is a single mother.
We need the black man's presence right now.
So she's telling us what they need, and they want us to come and clean up mess they made. Understand this. All right, I kept telling people for a while that good men are conservative at heart. As a matter of fact, good people that believe that other people can have rights are conservative at heart across all racial things. The people that say, leave me alone, I'll get mine, are conservative at heart. We don't want to bully other people into giving us their stuff, right? But these women made this bed, and now they want us to come and save them and the mess that they created. They created the unsafe environment. They got rid of the strong men. They didn't have to. No one put a gun up to their head. They said that they preferred to the tune of 61%. Remember, 61% of Afro males to have multiple children from multiple babies' mothers are dudes that got out of prison. Them guys coming out of prison didn't put the gun up to their head. They just said, hey, we pookies. They're like, ooh, we like that swag. Understand this. So swag took over for competence. Swag took over for legacy. Swag took over for everything good. And the good guys became lames and sips. So now that we're leaving them alone to be judged by the Most High, they are now crying out for us. But it should fall on deaf ears. Because I'll show you the other signal after this.
Day. Let me tell you something. The amount of young girls that are being attacked, that are being assaulted, that are being followed, that are being snatched, that are being kidnapped, that are being taken for sex trafficking. Do you know why it's so high? Because these predators are not seeing a male presence.
So whose fault is that? When the only people you create children with are the Pookies and Ray Rays. And when you preach to your daughters, and when you galvanize with other women and form like the car Voltron and say, we are going to despise the good men, we're going to tell him he's a piece of crap, we're going to tell him he is not welcome, none of these children are his, and if they are, we're going to take them from him, we're going to stress him out, we're going to run him through the system, we're going to put him in prison, in jail, we are going to make sure that this man has no peace, so that if he's trying to stay, he will want to leave. And guess what? Your plan worked. And now that it worked, so we're not coming back, because there's no incentive, there's no reason. Nothing you created belongs to us, the good Afro men. You created the mess, you got to lay in it. And you'll still lay with all the dudes coming out of the prison before you give honor to a man that had been trying to create the good legacy all along.
Men, black men, I am pleading with y'all. This is a PSA. Get back to picking up your daughters from school. They're not seeing men.
Hold on. But the men that you lay with aren't the type of men that pick up daughters from school. See, so what they do is they get with men who don't have the characters of keeping their family safe. And the ones that do, you separate yourself from them, saying you don't need them. In other words, we don't want you in the home. We don't want you as leaders. We want you to clean up our mess, and only that. We're not going to give you love. We're not going to give you respect. We're not going to give you none of that. All we want is your resources and your protection. So what happens when you're not worthy of it?
At the bus stops, they're not seeing men at the train stations. They're not seeing men waiting outside for women to come home and take bags for them to see. Oh, I can't pray on that one because she's with him. Oh, I can't pray on that one, her father just walked up. These men are not seeing men.
They are not seeing men. The predators are not seeing. We called this out from a long time ago. We said this is what it's going to be. All right. So back to the article. So what the article does is he's pointing out mad bus driver, right? And they're trying to figure out who he is, right? So he goes wearing a helmet that covers his face and talking over compilation of photographs of black men with mostly Caucasian women. YouTuber mad bus driver frequently tells his listeners, save yourself, black man. All right. Now, this has been going on longer than bad bus driver. But that guy that did this, he does no research or anything. This is a false article, right, that was written to kind of use supremacist talking points, all right, to try to discredit a movement that has no leader. A movement that by design is men looking back over their lives and seeing the damage that was done to them and who caused it, and other men showing the behavior on Facebook, the behavior on YouTube, the behavior on Twitter, the behavior on Instagram, the behavior in their lives. We're looking at our moms, sisters, aunts, nieces. We're looking at all of that and seeing that, wow, we've been treated evilly by all of them, if evilly is a word. Okay? All right. And so, yeah, we're saying we need to save ourselves. And because the movement is growing way faster, because it has no one leader, because no matter how many times you take down people that originally was in a part of this, we keep coming back up. Because the stats that we're bringing up are not only by the government, but by other Afro men that are concerned about the community. Because everybody that has eyes can see what's being done and who's doing it. This dude that wrote this article is looking like a liar and a hypocrite. All right. And so they're saying Mad Bus Driver coined the phrase. No one knows who's coined the phrase. We're saying that people have been using it, all right, since before 2014. All right, just a few months before the protests, and so he goes into all of that, right? This is what I want you to understand. SYSBM can be summarized as competitive victimhood, self-describing, thinking black men view themselves as victims of black women autonomy. It supports a worldview that black men are more safe being away from them and their alleged dysfunction. Alleged. All right, like I said, statistics prove that 77% of black women are single mothers. Statistics say that 59% of black women have multiple children from multiple baby daddies. Statistics states that the most dangerous place for a child to be is with a single mother versus the single father. The statistics state that as far as poverty, the best place for a child to be is with the mother and father. But if that can't happen, the next best place for the child to be is with the father. The worst place for the child to be is with the mothers. All right, this is statistically proven. All right, and so he goes, it supports. So all this is a bunch of crap, right? And what he has done is he's taken the narrative for the modern day BAWs and tried to use their narrative for Afro men, right? We are saying you can find peace of mind by dating either interracially or outside of the United States. And outside of the United States, we don't care who you find and where you find them. But life is better for an Afro man that wants to raise a legacy by having an outside of the United States wife versus one inside the United States. All right, now you know that this isn't scientific because he calls them a cabal. This is the playbook. Remember, he's writing for a magazine that is not owned by Afro men concerned for the community of Afro men. This is pushing a feminist narrative, right? So he calls them a cabal, black pathology, intentional decision, all right, to live abroad. So they're trying to shame the Afro men for looking out for themselves. All right. But SYSBM is an international growing movement. All right. And so he goes into this. And so look at this. Look at the hypocrisy in all this. Look at the ugliness in all of this. Look at the lies in all of this. Now look at the author and see how much he or whoever he works for despises the Afro man. Then let's look at Lonely Love, who's the epitome of everything he just said. Remember, daughters of the trade. Oh, that's a historian. Showed that these women have been betraying us from the beginning. That when they say that, when she says, slavery is why black men can't stay loyal. Remember, the first disloyal people to their wives during slavery was the slave master, because he was sleeping with the black women. Unless Lonely Love don't count that, because we were considered 3/5 human, which means then worse. He was sleeping with something that was less than human. Oh, the judo flips, the gymnastics that these people are trying to do in this mess. All right, look at all this hypocrisy going on here. The author of this article don't point this out, right? You know what else they don't point out? We'll get back to Lonely Love. He goes into slaying evil, right? He's basically call it H8. All right. He says SYSBM is concerned about the future of children. All right, that's partially true. Let me break it down a little further so this author don't get it mixed up. We are concerned about the future of our seeds, not all children, just our seeds. Understand, when the thugs have these children, we're not concerned about their children, because as the fathers and as the mothers that chose them, they're the ones that should be concerned, not us. Believing that black woman has deep disdain and H8 for Afro children. Well, the statistics bear this out. When you look at the fact that most of these children are being abused by their mothers, the CDC points that out. Child advocacy groups point that out. All right, so this isn't something that's just out of the sky. All right, and we'll seek to destroy them through abortion or physical and mental abuse. This is a true fact. Remember, between 1973 and 2019, black women have aborted more than 22 million to 60 million, roughly, because we're not counting the states of California, New Hampshire, or Maryland, right? And so, because we can't count those estimates go way up, since California and Maryland are both probably some of the first states that allow these abortions like this, right? So when you look at that, that's true. It has been proven soundly that the black woman has aborted more Afro people than everything else combined that has killed us since 1973. That's an actual fact. All right. So that's an actual fact. So this was a Slam article that was full of lies, and the author of this article, which will be in the description box so you can read it in full, were trying to promote lies over the truth. Understand this. They were trying to promote lies over the truth, and they were trying to use the lies and their audience were other black women. And now I will say this also. This was an attack message. The reason why they called these people out, because I believe, so Mad Bus Driver, if you're watching this, watch your back. I believe that by design, he was given a call to women to go after these channels on YouTube, the way they're going after channels like mine. And again, they speak nothing of this that the black woman has been doing for a while, even though her relationship with this man is kind of jacked up. And even though she's a hypocrite, all right, and even though she's hypocritical about the Caucasian men, it's because they're the ones that were cheating before anybody else. See what I'm saying? And now she don't know what to do about the backlash she's received, because she's seen as the house, you know what, that she is. See what I'm saying? Because she will take something that belongs to the person that belonged to one group and put it all on the Afro men. When statistics state that Afro men in the marriage are more loyal than all the rest of the men. Oh, the statistics state also that women cheat with more people than men. Understand that. That the most disloyal women are the women that you're looking at. That group right there. So now you can't blame a brother for going overseas, because at the end of the day, no one holds the black woman accountable. And Shiraz Ali said that no one holds them accountable. But in the meantime, those same women are using their any platforms, and remember, they're given the platform to come out against us. Understand that those same women are using these platforms to take down Afro men and try to destroy us, because they want us to stay on the plantation, because they run the plantation. Remember, the reason why they don't talk about Lonnie Love is that she and women like her are allowed to have options. The reason why this article came out about SYSBM, because in the eyesight and in the minds of these women, the Afro man is not allowed to have options, because to them, they see us as escravos. Look it up in Spanish and look it up in Portuguese. They will tell us that by the time they're used up and can't have children and can't give us a legacy, that is the only time they feel ready to be with a good man. You know, only after they've been used up, only after they've been run through, only after they've insulted us over and over and over again. Maybe when the children that they did have is grown, they say, okay, I'm totally single now. I don't have that other man's child, right? I can't give you a legacy, but I need security from you. Only after all of that do they say, you know what? We need you now, Afro man. We really need you now. And we're saying, suffer alone. We tired. SYSBM. With that said, I'm out.